I'm not sure Susie Wiles, Donald Trump's nominee for chief of staff, makes it another 72 hours, let alone 70 days, and enters the White House. Not with the losing streak she's been on in the last 3 days. I'm Michael Popok. This is the MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. The chief of staff position, not just supposed to be a Trump wrangler. It's also supposed to get the president and get through his agenda, get his legislative package passed in Congress, have relationships with senators and congresspeople to make that happen, and get his cabinet picks and federal judges through confirmation process. Now, Susie Wiles doesn't really have that kind of background. She's not a Capitol Hill person. She's more of a local politics, Florida politics person. She's very good, apparently, at getting Trump elected as a co-presidential campaign director. But that doesn't mean she knows how to work Capitol Hill. And so far, between some infighting within the Trump world and her own ineptitude, we've got a series of front page stories that all make Donald Trump look terrible, Susie Wiles look worse, and should be worrying the American people. I'll break it all down for you right here on this hot take. So let's start with the cabinet picks, shall we? Where did Matt Gaetz come from? Well, I'll tell you where he didn't come from. He didn't come out of the mind of Susie Wiles. In fact, the new reporting by the New York Times is that the idea for Matt Gaetz as an attorney general came up in the last couple of days during a plane ride that Susie Wiles was not on, and while it was whispered into the ear of Donald Trump by Boris Epshteyn. Boris Epshteyn is his lawyer, enforcer. He's the one that's been putting together all of the lawyers for the Department of Justice that Donald Trump is nominating, from the Attorney General, from the Solicitor General, the White House counsel. That's all coming out of the mind of Boris Epshteyn. In fact, he waited for Susie Wiles apparently not to be on the plane. And by the time the plane landed, Matt Gaetz had been picked. No vetting, no input from Susie Wiles as she's trying to clean up literally behind the elephants. That's not a great sign for the influence of Susie Wiles, that she really had to learn about the pick of Matt Gaetz the way the rest of us did, through social media. That's one big problem. Then we have, some people might be thinking, well, how did these other people get through without proper vetting? That's the point. There is no proper vetting. Susie Wiles and the transition team are not using the FBI for any vetting. So now the new reporting is that she learned for the first time just in the last day that Pete Hegseth from the Fox and Friends, who's going to leave the couch, get off the couch in Fox and Friends apparently, and go become our Secretary of Defense. Okay? Without any proper background check. Today's news is that he is a potential, somebody who had a sex assault charge against him in 2017 in California, okay, with a woman who showed up with bruises. That's today's story. Tomorrow's story is going to be he's a Christian nationalist, borderline white supremacist, who says a lot of sort of pro-white, anti-everybody else comments out loud, has tattoos to match, and that he has some strong opinions where now we know where Donald Trump got him from, to try to get rid of 3- and 4-star generals and replace them with junior officers in a purge. That is all coming out of Pete Hegseth's mind. But Susie Wiles apparently didn't know that Pete Hegseth had a sex charge against him. I mean, this is just an unbroken string of men Donald Trump is naming to power who have women issues and rape issues and sex assault issues. That shouldn't surprise anybody. I mean, he's the molester in chief. But Susie Wiles, she just learned about it. The new reporting is she's running around now with her hair on fire about Hegseth, interviewing him along with his lawyer, Tim Parlatore, who, if you remember, used to represent Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago, but then fired the client when the client wasn't listening to him and probably committing espionage. Oh, you see how this tight web is spun? So Susie Wiles so far didn't know about Matt Gaetz and couldn't prepare for it. And of course, he didn't have a proper background check. All she had to do is figure out what the Department of Justice has been doing for 2 years investigating him for sex trafficking and drug use. Then she's got Pete Hegseth, which she never knew had a sex assault problem, which a normal $50 background check would have pulled up. That's two. Then she tells Donald Trump that she's going to get Rick Scott, her old boss, when he was a senator and governor from Florida, is going to get him the big job, the Senate Majority Leader that runs the entire show in the Senate, including the cabinet member confirmations and the federal judges. Don't worry, Rick Scott's in the bag. How did that go, Susie? In the last 48 hours, the Senate said nuts to Donald Trump, and they picked John Thune, who, now he's sort of kissing up to Trump just in case, but he also said that Donald Trump should resign after Jan 6th and that he should resign after the Access Hollywood hot mic came out. That John Thune. As the chilly days of fall roll in and the holiday rush begins, it's easy to forget about taking care of yourself. Enter Mudwater, a soothing yet energizing coffee alternative that helps you stay sharp and balanced through the busiest time of the year. Made from a blend of chai, cacao, and calming adaptogens like lion's mane, reishi, and chaga, Mudwater gives you a natural boost without the crash or coffee jitters. Mudwater is like your holiday self-care ritual in a cup, packed with antioxidants and wellness benefits that nourish your body while keeping you centered and clear-headed through the chaos of the season. And as you prepare for the holidays, it makes the perfect stocking stuffer for anyone in need of a little extra self-care. Whether you're powering through gift wrapping, decking the halls, or simply enjoying a quiet moment to yourself, Mudwater is the ultimate way to bring balance and calm to your fall and holiday routine. Does your 3 p.m. cup of coffee make you stay awake at night, contemplating life choices and the meaning of existence? Yeah, let's not do that again. Switching to Mudwater can help you say goodbye to sleepless nights. It's got all the energy without the late night existential crisis. Give Mudwater a shot and save big, because our listeners get up to 43% off your entire order, free shipping, and a free rechargeable frother. Head to mudwtr.com/legalaf. When the survey asks, please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Every single ingredient in Mudwater's products are 100% USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher. There's also 0 sugar and no sweeteners added, making it a clean and wholesome choice for your wellness journey. To use Mudwater, you simply drop the powder into your favorite mug. Pour some water on it and give it a mix. Some go wild and add creamer, honey, or even CBD. There's also caffeine-free blends available. The best part about Mudwater is it provides sustained energy without the spikes and crash of traditional coffee. Using Mudwater is as easy as cozying up on a crisp fall afternoon. Head to mudwater.com and grab your starter kit. For a limited time, our listeners get up to 43% off your entire order, free shipping, and a free rechargeable frother at mudwtr.com/legalaf. That's up to 43% off your order at mudwtr.com/legalaf. After you purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. So John Thune, not her old boss, becomes Senate Majority Leader, and instantly other senior senators like Cornyn say over my dead body effectively about Matt Gaetz. And then others jump on board in the Republican Party in the Senate like Murkowski and Collins, saying he's an unserious candidate. This is because Susie Wiles didn't work the votes, didn't make the phone calls, right? Because she's never worked on Capitol Hill before, and it's starting to show. So let's just count the ways that Susie Wiles has failed at her job, at least from a Donald Trump perspective. It's great for us, you know. Any insider incompetence that ties up Donald Trump and trips him up is great for America. More of it. I'm starting to think she's a Trojan horse. But I'm wondering if she's going to last as long as Scaramucci lasted, which was like 4 days when he was the communications director the first time around. And then Anthony Scaramucci was like, so long. This could be Susie Wiles. So she doesn't know about Gaetz and is cut out of the decision-making process. Hegseth, she doesn't know about his criminal past. Tulsi Gabbard, how does Tulsi Gabbard get through a background check about being an intelligence director? There have been rumors for years in the intelligence community that she is a Russian asset, that she's been turned by Putin, because all of a sudden she starts spouting Kremlin talking points and conspiracy theories. And this is the person that Donald Trump thinks, this should be my national intelligence director. You think Putin is picking the cabinet? Putin couldn't pick a better cabinet for Putin than what Donald Trump is doing right now. And where is Susie Wiles? Pushing back and saying, maybe we shouldn't pick the person that we think could be a Russian spy to be the head of our national intelligence. What do you say, boss? But I'm not done. RFK Jr., an admitted drug addict. And look, I'm all about rehabilitation, okay? If you're better today than you were yesterday and you've taken steps, I get it. But these are the things that a proper vetting would reveal, because we should know as an American people, and our national security interests should know, whether there's a possibility that you can be turned. Like if they wave around a bag of something, you may give up the secrets. You know, so if people are financially compromised, they owe money all over town, they have loan sharks, business compromised, ethically compromised, national security compromised, and this is Susie Wiles' fault. She came up and allowed him to say, there's no truth to power being spoken to Donald Trump. It's obvious. And so when he said, we're going to skip FBI background checks, Susie Wiles should have said, no, we can't do that. The public is going to find out. Forget it. So far, between the Matt Gaetz affair, Hegseth, the fact that Rick Scott, her boss, who she said was going to get picked, didn't get picked to be the Senate Majority Leader, and already the Senate Republicans are rebelling against at least one of the cabinet picks. And now you have this, if you look at the entirety of the cabinet that's being proposed, it's a gift. It's a gift to us because it's so ludicrous. It's so obscene. It's so easily objected to that it's giving the senators an easy out. These are too far, too much, right? Even for us, no. A couple of his picks are going to get through. I've said it before, to be fair. Not fair to him. I mean, just to be fair in the analysis. John Sauer for Solicitor General, the 10th Supreme Court Justice. I don't like his record. MAGA to the core, anti-woman, anti-abortion, bought and paid for by Leonard Leo, the Federalist Society, and the Koch brothers. That's his background. But he's been effective for Donald Trump in appeals at the Supreme Court. He at least was a clerk for Antonin Scalia. Okay, he clerked for Michael Luttig. I mean, he's got some background. So he's going to go through. Todd Blanche for Deputy Attorney General, who I think is the shadow Attorney General. He'll be the Attorney General when Matt Gaetz gets bounced one way or the other. He'll get confirmed. You know, criminal lawyer for Donald Trump. Emile Beauvais, his right-hand person in the criminal defense world, will be his right-hand person there as well. They'll get confirmed. White House counsel, former Republican National Committee lawyer, he'll get confirmed. They'll throw some other people in there. So, you know, I don't like Lee Zeldin, who ran for governor in New York, to be the head of the EPA. He has no background in environmental protection and science at all. He's just a bureaucrat. He could get hung up in a confirmation problem at the Senate. I don't think he's qualified. You know, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., we've talked about. They got to be pulled, you know, to be the head of Health and Human Services. You know, I thought you have to believe there are humans and health in order to head up that cabinet post. And so, look, not everyone's going to go down. I think, you know, the CIA director is going to get confirmed, John Ratliff. He's really the leader of the spy program. He is the spy master for America. We'll have to see who he does on the FBI. We'll have to see what he does for the sub-cabinets under the Department of Defense. We're still waiting on Treasury. We're still waiting on Commerce, right? Secretary of State, I mean, Marco Rubio's an empty suit. You know, he's all hat and no cattle, as we like to say around here in New York. He's a borderline incompetent. But he's a hawk. You know, he's a Republican, borderline MAGA. He's not objectionable to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to be his own Secretary of State, maybe with Elon Musk, unless Elon Musk has worn out his welcome, which may have already happened. But what we have to do now is keep an eye on Susie Wiles, because I'm telling you, she's not going to make it. Because her number one job, she's already failed at, and she hasn't even taken a full-time position. She hasn't even gotten the paycheck with the White House logo on it yet. And she's already failed at her job miserably. And I don't see her getting any better. That's why people that serve in that position often come from the Senate or the House, or at least they're generals. They know how to run things. You know, they're not just, I don't think anybody's ever been a presidential campaign director as a training to get into the White House chief of staff because of what it does. You know, Mark Meadows, I don't like him, but at least he came from the Capitol. This is the problem. We'll continue to follow it right here on Legal AF and on the MeidasTouch Network. Follow me, Michael Popok. Legal AF, the new YouTube channel. Help us build that pro-democracy channel in collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network. And of course, we got Legal AF, the podcast, Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on this YouTube channel. Free subscribe here and pick us up on audio podcast platforms as well. Till my next hot take, till my next Legal AF, I'm Michael Popok, and I am reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.